This question looks extremely tough from the outset, but what you have to realize is that there's a common b in these two equations, and then a d and an e in the second two. And in fact, we can represent the equations as a number pyramid. A plus b is equal to d, so the number above it, and then b plus c is equal to e, the number above those two, and then we get to f. All right, and once we're up to here, we can make a start at systematically working our way to finding all the solutions. So first up, there's no way, so no digit will actually equal 0. No digit equals 0. The reason being is that if one of them equaled 0, then when you added them together, then the one above would be the same. So if A was 0, then D would end up being equal to B. And we're told that each letter represents a different digit, since each digit different. I feel like that's enough of an explanation. Furthermore, they must all be less than or equal to 9. In fact, we couldn't have D equal to 9 because then F would be larger. So F is going to be less than or equal to 9 mainly. Okay, but there's more we can gather. Before we just start putting numbers in, remember, we're trying to work through this carefully. Now, the smallest that A and B could therefore equal would be 1 and 2 in some order. So we must have that D is greater or equal to 3. But the same goes for E. E must also be greater or equal to 3. And then that means that F, because they can't both be equal to 3, F must be greater or equal to 7. So I can kind of, yeah, bring these two together to give me this. And this is a really good starting point now. F is between 7 and 9. So I can start creating the pyramids. The only thing I'm going to do is, for the moment, I'm going to assume that D is less than E, because at the end of the day, if we get a solution, we can simply reflect it about this line. So F and B would stay the same, but we could swap A and C around, and hence swap D and E around and get another solution. So we'll get all the solutions where D is less than E, and then we can just reverse them to get some more. Okay, let's take a look then at 7. So if F is 7, now because D and E have to be greater or equal to 3 each, then there's only one way we could get this if D is less than E, and that would be 3 and 4. So we can't have 2 and 5 because D has to be greater or equal to 3. Then my options are I could have 1 and 2 here, but then this would also have to be 2. So I can maybe put a 2 there and cross that out. So that's not going to work. If I swap it around to make it 2 and 1, then this then has to be 3. So no solutions for f equals 7. I should also have added at this point that because E is bigger than D, well, we still require that E is going to be less than or equal to 6, because F is less than or equal to 9, and because D is greater or equal to 3, then the most, so E could equal, well, in this case, 4, 5, or 6. Just bear that in mind. I'm not sure if that will come into it. So next up, let's try F equal to 8. So they have to be different. The smallest that D could be would be 3, and then E would be 5. I could then have 1 and 2, but then this one would be 3, so that's not possible. If we go with 3 and 5 again, but make it 2 and 1, then we've got our first solution. This one checks out. Solution number 1, brilliant. And that just leaves us with 9. So for 9, we could have 3 and 6 as a first possibility. Then I could go with 1 and 2 and 4. That's another solution. What if I swap them around? Then I'd have 2 and 1. and 5, and that would also work. But that's the only ways I can get 3. So then I'll try 4 and 5. Then if I go with 1 and 3, then 2 would work. What if I swap these two around? 3 and 1, then this would be 4, and that wouldn't work. And that's going to be it. Because I've got this condition that D is less than E, that's the only way that I could fit them in. So I found my 4 solutions. Just remember, that was when D is less than E. So I'm going to get the equivalent solutions if I reflect it. And therefore, let's write them down. So solutions are, we first of all had F equal to 8, and then D was 3, E was 5. I'm just using the ones from up here. A was 2, B was 1, and C was 4. But now I'm going to get this extra one. If I swap them around, so I've got 8, 3, 5, then I'll keep the B the same, but then swap these two around. So 4 and 2 here. Now we'll go with the 9. We'll go with this one here. So 3 and 6, and then 1, 2, 4. But of course we could swap these around, so 6 and 3, and then therefore these two around. Okay, now I've got 9 again, 3 and 6 again, but now it's 2, 1, 5, or this. And finally, 9, I had 4 and 5, and I did 1, 3, and 2, or 2, 3, 1, 5, 4, 9. Okay, the starting point is definitely the trickiest part of this question. Once you understand that you're forming a pyramid and you put some restrictions in, you just have to be careful, but it all kind of, works out. The D less than E really makes life easier. You can obviously, do it without involving that. You get more solutions as you go along. Just, I think it's a bit harder to keep track of them. But here they are. Really well done on this question. Thanks for watching.